My name is Professor De Boer. I'm the director of the PhD program on private sector development, the part-time executive PhD program. This field of private sector development is quite an interesting and upcoming phenomenon in the whole world. And private sector development at the University of Maastricht is looked upon by looking both at the company level as well as what is happening at the environmental level, the institutional supportive level surrounding the private sector development actors. We are now already for the third year moving with our PhD program, and we have students focusing on private sector development, looking at the strategies of firms, small and micro firms. We're having students involved in looking at the informal sector vis-a-vis the formal sector, but we also have students looking at the role of the financial actors within private sector development. On the other hand, we have also people who are not looking at the strategy of these firms vis-a-vis private sector development, but you can also look at private sector development from an institutional point of view. So then we look at what kind of economic actors do have an impact on private sector development. And we do that based on three different layers: an economic layer, a societal layer, and an environmental layer. And then we look to what extent these different layers and the different actors within these layers do impact on private sector development. So what is the role of skills on private sector development? What is, for example, the role on knowledge towards private sector development, access to finance, infrastructure and policy? These five actors combined are looking at this economic layer impacting on private sector development. The second layer relates to societal actors. There are four of these societal actors. So there we look at what is the impact of health, for example, on private sector development. What is the impact of primary education, literacy to private sector development. Security is an important role, and finally also food security. So those four actors together form the societal actors for private sector development. And finally, we're also looking at what is the impact of the environmental layer, the environmental actors, like for example the biodiversity on private sector development. So all in all, I think it's a very interesting and important program in which we try to create the required impacts for society, to create finally also a more inclusive and sustainable private sector environment for the different countries in which we do our research. As a student, you're part of a bigger group, and I think also this fact of the fact that everybody is part of this program. Peer learning is an important aspect, and 4 times a year we're having these interactions with the different groups of PhD students. And if required, you can also enroll in the different modules related to quantitative or qualitative research methods. Looking forward to see you all, and think it's and looking forward also to have fruitful and interesting conversations to build upon the existing knowledge we have for future more robust frameworks on private sector development. Thank you.